Let's have another example for a two-dimensional array. This time, we're going to deal with interactive mode, meaning we're going to ask the user or prompt the user to enter elements or components within a two-dimensional array. So this is the problem. Create a C++ program that will ask the user to enter a 3 by 3 array min num and display the highest and the lowest value entered by the user. So from the previous example, we have the header files, IOStream and IOManip. Then from the declaration statement, we retain the size of the row and the size of the column, but instead of 3 by 4, we assigned row as 3, and also as well as the column, we also assigned it as equivalent to 3 since that is a 3 by 3 array. And the name of the array from the problem is num, so that's why I use int num, and then of course the size of the row and the size of the column, and then as well as we also declare the index for the row and index for the column. In addition to that, since we're going to display the highest and the lowest value entered by the user, we're going to declare another variable, which is the high and the low. So in this case, we're going to ask the user to input value. So from the executable, we have to have input. So in this case, we're going to use loop. Then we have the process. Again, another loop. And for the final output, we have also the loop. So that's the executable. So let's have the input. So that means we're going to ask the user to input 9 elements since this is a 3 by 3 array. So I'm going to display cout, enter. Then how are we going to multiply 3 by 3 to make it enter 9 elements? So we have size R times size C, numbers, and L. Then we have to use the for loop. Again, it is a nested loop. Let's just indent this one. Okay. So in this case, I need to assign again IR equals 0. IR is less than size R, and then IR plus plus. Then the inner loop will be for the column IC equals 0. IC is less than size C, and then IC plus plus. Okay. So let's just display something on screen like the position, which is 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2. Okay, so I'm going to display cout row. Let's have number, then the position. So we have the IR, and then we have the IC, then the colon, semicolon. So let's just initialize and let's just initially run the code just to see the output from that. I have to have semicolon here. Okay, so if you're going to take a look at the output, we have 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2. So we're going to input the values from that particular position. So cout, and then I'm going to make use of C in here, and then I'm going to use the name of the array, and then the index for the row, and the index for the column. Okay, so that's for the input. Now, how we're going to do the process? So for the process, we need to get the highest and the lowest. So initially, we're going to initialize the first position, which is position 0, 0 of num to be the initial value of highest and to be the initial value of lowest. So again, in the process, we have high equals num subscript 0, subscript 0. So whatever the value on the first position will be the initial value as high, as well as in the low. Num 0. Okay? So whatever the value of the first position will be then initialized as the first value of the highest value and the lowest value. Then in that case, I'm going to just copy this portion and paste it here. Instead of asking the user to input, I'm going to process the highest and the lowest. I'm going to have a declaration if statement if num subscript IR subscript IC is less than low. So we're talking about processing the low. So this means that the low value will then be changed to num subscript IR subscript IC. Another if, so we're not going to make use of if else because the condition of the low should be separated to the condition of the highest value. So num subscript IR subscript IC this time is greater than high. Then we're going to change the value of high equals to num subscript IR subscript IC semicolon. So that's the process in getting the highest and the lowest. Next, we're going to display the value on screen in a 3x3. So I'm going to display for Cout, displaying the value in a size R by size C array and L. Then going to do again the for loop. So this time, not going to make use again of the cin. I'm going to make use of the cout. Then I'm going to use set W again, 7. Then num subscript IR subscript IC. Then again, to display it on the left alignment, I'm going to put cout left semicolon. The next is to make it a matrix or a table, we need to have cout and L on the outer loop. Then finally, from the final output, we need also to display outside the loop the highest and the lowest value. So cout highest is high and lowest is low. Okay, let's run the code. So we have to enter 9 numbers. So starting at position 0, 0, 2, 22, 3, 4, 5, 0, negative 7, 8, 9, 99. Let's have negative 56, 2, 3, 5, 9, 9, 9. So we have 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, then 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2. So that's the last one, 2, 0, 2, 1, 2, 2. So since we have 3x3, so that means the first position of the column will start at 0 and ends at position 2. Same thing as the column starts at 0 and ends at position 2. So right after we inputted the values, it will display a 3x3 array. 3x3 array. So this is the first row, the second row, and the third row, which is position 0, 1, and 2. And then column 0, column 1, column 2. And then we have highest is 999, lowest is negative 789.